Think Realty Nation, it's your host, Abhi Golhar. Welcome to the Think Realty podcast. Excited to be here today. We have one of my really good friends, Adam Adams, who'll be joining us in just a second. We're talking about raising money for your real estate transactions. You know, I'm asked all the time, hey, how do I find the right kind of capital? And should I be focusing on capital first or the deal first? So we'll be talking through some of these things with Adam in just a few minutes. But I'll tell you something. This podcast is not possible without the help of our sponsors and the support of our sponsors. Today's podcast is brought to you by Narada Real Estate Investments. Thank you so much, Marco Santorelli. I love you, man. I appreciate you. Realty Real Estate Investments is your premier source for cash flow property. Please visit www.turnkeyrealestateinvestments.com. That's turnkeyrealestateinvestments.com. So, like I said, we have a pretty cool show lined up for you. I'm going to get right to talking about raising capital. It's one of the hardest things to do sometimes if you're a new real estate investor, if you're a pro real estate investor like my guest today. It isn't as difficult, but there are a couple of steps that you need to follow. Adam, let's start breaking them down. Welcome to the show.
Hey, how are you?
Good. Thanks so much for being on. I certainly appreciate it. Give us a little intro on who you are and what you do.
Yeah, my name's Adam Adams, and I've been focused on buying multifamily real estate for the last few years. And we actually started in 2007 was the first time I got into multifamily. But we've been focusing on syndication lately, and man, we've gone through some bumpy roads, listening to our coaches and doing things the way that people expect that it should be able to work, and some of it has failed us, and we had to learn new ways. And other than that, I'm a dad of two. I live in Colorado, Conifer, Colorado, up in the mountains. It's beautiful up here, and I do a podcast. That's a good way to sum it up, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you do a crazy awesome job with your podcast as well. I want you to plug it. What's the name of it? How can I get in touch, and how can I stay tuned?
Absolutely. Yeah. If they want to find the podcast, it's called Creative Real Estate Podcast. They could either type that or my name, Adam Adams, on any like iTunes or whatever, or they could go to our website, realbluespruce.com, and they can always find it there too.
How awesome would it be, Matthew, if like my name was Abhi Abis, right? Like I'm so jealous of Adam. Like, that's just as crazy awesome. Like, okay, this interview is over, right? Like, I can't have an awesome name. Right, twice. Adam Adams. Jeez, I love it. All right, Adam, let's talk about raising money. It's one of the things that many people struggle to do well. And one of the things that you talk about in your podcast and the information that you're putting out is that raising money is a little bit different than what most people think. What do you mean by that?
Well, there's two things, really. I think everybody is told if you find a good deal, the money automatically comes, right? And that's the major thing. If you find a good deal, the money automatically will come. Like, it makes people feel as though they should ignore raising money right now because they don't have a deal. So they would be in a bad position, showing their investors that they're not serious. And what I found is, at least in my experience and many of the people's experience that I've helped to get into multifamily, that if you try to find the deal first, then you're scrambling to get the money, and no investor wants to put their money with somebody who has just 2 weeks to place the money. They feel rushed. They feel like you're rushed and that you're not prepared. It helps so much more to raise the money first and then start looking for deals. So that's really what I wanted to talk about.
I think that's a really, really good concept, right? There are a lot of folks out there that also believe the hype, right? They'll say, hey, this deal's awesome, blah, blah. Help me break down the hype, right? Because there's a lot of that going on, single family space, multifamily, you're in the multifamily space as well. There's way too much of that going on. People are buying deals that they probably shouldn't be buying, and there are also people losing out on deals because they believe the hype. So help me kind of walk through that. Like, what is the hype? How should I be aware of it? And what limitation does that pose then on me as an individual looking at raising deals if I believe the hype?
Awesome. So I'm a raising money coach. I help people raise money. So I get a lot of last minute phone calls. And just last week, somebody gave me a call. They are phenomenal operators. They do a really good job at operating properties. They're trustable type of people, right?
Yeah.
And they also find great deals. They've built strong relationships with brokers, but they called me saying, Adam, hey, I need to raise some money, and I only have, what was it, 10 days to do it. They were like, it's due next Saturday. And I was like, I don't know how to help you. I mean, I gave them like 3 tips of what maybe to do last minute when you only have 10 days to raise an extra $1 million that like you weren't prepared to do in the first place. I gave them a whole bunch of tips, but I don't know if that's going to happen. It's supposed to close last weekend, so I should actually follow up with her. The point is,
Right.
the point is that it was going to be this last Saturday, and so I'll find out. But what I was going to say is, as she was asking me, I gave her this example of an apple tree. I said, like, if you want to eat an apple right now, like, can you just go and plant an apple tree today and it's all ready to go? No, you have to grow,
Adam,
cultivate.
Absolutely. It absolutely is. If I plant an apple tree, I'm ready to eat the fruit just right now because I live in a microwave society. I don't know about you, right? Like I want everything right now on my cell phone. There should be an app for this, right? It's like, hey, I need money, and it automatically hits my bank account or it hits escrow in like a second. I'm totally kidding, by the way.
Okay, well, that's good. That's good. Everybody else thinks the way you think.
Right.
And so I feel like I'm the one swimming upstream trying to tell people, stop saying that. Stop trying to be like, oh, I'm ready for a deal. I'm ready for an apple. So what do I need to do? Oh, yeah, I've got to plant the seed and water the seed. And then they do it. And they're like, what's happening? I don't have an apple yet.
Yeah.
Because you actually have to cultivate it, fertilize it, nurture it. And over time, those relationships grow and people know you, they like you, and they trust you. So the real answer is you got to get those relationships planted, seeded, harvested, started ahead of time so that people can start to know you, like you, trust you. And then when you're ready to actually call for the capital, you have money just waiting for that deal.
You got to be a good farmer, right? Like you have to pay
Yes.
attention to the seasons. You have to know what you're planting. You have to know when to plant it. You have to take really good care of it. You got to love, right? You have to love. And once you get there, you got the know, like, and trust piece, then it becomes a lot easier. And you've mastered that. You've got 5 steps. What's the first one?
Yeah, so that's what's happening, right? We need to figure out how to do that. And the how is those 5 steps. So we focus on, first you need to start becoming an influence, starting to share with your passive investors or potential passive investors what to do and how to do it. So you just start to get your name out. Podcasts help, things like that. Meetups help. And then the second thing is to follow up with people, which a lot of people don't do. And the way that I say to follow up is to get them on your email list and stay in front of them.
So number
Those are the
one,
first 2 steps.
That's awesome. So we got number 1, which is you have to start influencing individuals with the information that you already know. And if you haven't done a deal yet, talk about the market, right? Talk about your local area and see, well, geez, what's going on here, and I'm seeing some development there. So now you're building a community of people, and you're building a database of information you can always tap into on a newsletter email blast. What Adam's saying for number 2 is following up, right? You have to follow up with people. You have to engage them in conversation. Grab a cup of coffee. This is where I'm okay with the 15 or 30-minute coffee or the 30-minute, 40-minute lunch, or dinner sometimes is a little tough, right? We have family, so we want to make sure that we spend time with family, invest time with family. So coffee, lunch, I'm okay with if you're doing it for the right reason and you're meeting up with the right folks. Adam, you've got number 3, 4, and 5. So number 1 is becoming an influencer. Number 2 is following up and really, really engaging that person. And the number 3 is?
So I call it persuasion. There's a book about it as well. But what it means is you start to prepare them to love and know and understand the deals that you're going to have.
Yes.
Which means that you need to start in your email blast. What you want to do is as you're staying in front of them, again, people need to know you, like you, and trust you. And as you're staying in front of these people, these investors, your investors, and cultivating those relationships, watering the tree, you need to start to show them what it's going to look like when they invest with you. So what I do is, for instance, I'm in Oklahoma City, and some people know about Dallas, but fewer people know about Oklahoma City. It's a big market, but it's not a major market. And so I start to tell people or share with them how they can find a good market. And as I tell them how they can find a good market, I show them all of the things that I went through to find Oklahoma City, which is an amazing, incredible market that's emerging right now. And as I start to share that with them, they see all of the effort that I went through to find it, and they start to say to themselves, oh man, I should invest in Oklahoma City. Oh, I love that about Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
And I would just love to see a deal in Oklahoma City. Same thing with my team. I start talking about, you need to find a good team, not just a mom and pop. You need somebody who has their roles segmented. Like on my team, the way we're doing it is I have 12 people on my team. 2 people are asset managers. And unfortunately, most teams don't even have an asset managers, and that's why they fail. And that's why we have 2. And then we have a social media person so we can get in front of you and help you. And then we have an admin to make sure that nothing falls through the cracks. And then we have 5 people on the acquisitions team, 4 people underwriting and 2 people calling brokers day in and day out to make sure that you have a deal that you can invest in passively and know that it's going to be a great deal. So I start to show that, and then they start to think, the passive investors can start to think to themselves, man, I need to make sure that if I'm going to be passive, I need to put my money with somebody like Adam Adams, because I know that it's not just Adam Adams trying to be on social media and Adam Adams trying to be the admin and Adam Adams trying to be this. There's a whole group of people that treat it like a business, and that's how I know that my money's going to be safe. So persuasion, super important.
It's a very interesting concept, treating your business like a business and not treating it like a job, right? These are 2 totally different concepts. And if you want to talk more about that, definitely get in touch with Adam. You can also meet up with him at the Raising Money Summit. If you want to learn more about that, you can go to raisingmoneysummit.com. And Adam, do you have a promo code for our viewers and listeners if they want to get in touch and if they want to join and maybe get out to the summit and learn how to raise money the right way?
I will make one for you right now. It'll be done within 10 minutes. And yeah, how about Think Realty? Does that work?
That's perfect. I mean, I was going to go with Abby is awesome too, or like Abby.
Abby's awesome. Abby.
Think Realty is perfect. So if you go to raisingmoneysummit.com and type in the promo code Think Realty, you'll get a special little treat as well. So that is beautiful. So we've covered 3 of the 5 steps. The first is become an influencer and start talking about your market or start talking about the deals that you have done or currently doing. Number 2, you want to follow up with potential investors. Number 3, persuasion. Adam, what's number 4 and 5?
Yeah, so number 4 is just to get a pre-commitment, which is a step that nobody ever does. Yeah. There's a few people doing it. One of the people speaking at the Raising Money Summit that you brought up is talking about how he has $3 to $10 million always just available, sitting right there on the sidelines in pre-commitments. So that's number 4 is pre-commitments. It's a heavily missed one. And when you do it, your life will be solved because you won't have that stress anymore. The next one, the 5th one on the 5 steps is to actually call the capital, which is the only step that other people do. They think that you can skip 1 through 4 and go straight to calling the capital. It's not true. It doesn't work. You need to influence them, follow up with them, persuade them, give them pre-commitments. And now it's time to say, hey, I've got a deal exactly like you wanted, exactly like you pre-committed to with that $100,000. And it's ready for you to invest. Here's what the paperwork is. Sign here, sign here, sign here. And I need the money in the bank in the next 5 days. So that's calling the capital. You will fail at it if you haven't done steps 1 through 4.
So we've gone through 5 steps. Each of these steps is absolutely critical. There's no step that is not important. So I would ask, if you want to take another gander, hit rewind, skip back maybe 5 or 10 minutes and start with step 1 and really understand these steps. The second thing, go to raisingmoneysummit.com, type in the promo code ThinkRealty. And Adam, what do they get when they type in this promo code ThinkRealty?
So we'll give them 15% off of any ticket level that they get.
Awesome.
If they want a platinum ticket, they should really hurry because the platinums are pretty much almost gone. I think there's 2 left. So if they want a platinum, if they usually go for the platinum experience, then they're going to want to go right now and do it. And regardless, if they want to just come to the event, I hope that they will understand I need to learn how to really do these 5 steps. And I've got 25 of the best speakers raising hundreds of millions of dollars. I would love to plug every single one. But if you, the listener, just wants to see who it is and spend time just perusing, go to raisingmoneysummit.com, click on speakers, and you will be blown away. There's at least 3 of them on there that you love, that you respect, that you want to see what they're doing. And I would say, the conference is probably valuable to not just people that want to raise money, but absolutely, if you are a passive investor, if you're listening and you're like, I don't need to raise money, oh my gosh, where else better to go than to be in front of 400 of your very target audience that are operating deals, and you can start vetting them and building relationships with them and start placing your capital with people that are doing it right.
Adam, winner. Thank you so much. I certainly appreciate it. The type of person that needs to attend this conference, if you're new, get there. If you're a pro, get there. You want to learn how to raise money, get there. If you're somebody that has cash and you're just looking at deploying it in the right way, get there. Go to www.raisingmoneysummit.com, type in the promo code ThinkRealty, get 15% off. You got to do this right now. Take that action step for your future. Adam, thank you so much for joining me. I certainly appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, brother.
Hey, you got it. All right, next up, a quick little video from my friend Max, who's a property management specialist from Yardi Breeze. That's what's coming up right after I tell you how awesome this next sponsor is. Real Property Management. Duh. If you need the right kind of property management in your life, check out Real Property Management, which is the largest residential property management franchise in North America, managing tens of thousands of properties for individuals, investors, and institutions throughout the country. Learn more at realpropertymgt.com. That's www.realpropertymgt.com, or you can call them at 888-806-7088. Now, here's that video from Max.
Hi everybody, I'm Max, and welcome to the Breezeway, where we discuss topics that matter to property managers, owners, and investors. I want to talk to you about millennials and baby boomers, who today make up the nation's largest block of renters. But I'm kind of in the middle of brunch. Call me a cliche millennial if you want, but I pretty much live off these coffee shop lattes and avocado toast. In other words, I'm basic. Baby boomers don't always get millennials, and the feeling can be mutual. Before this turns into a battle of the generations, though, know this. Property investors and managers have many ways to appeal to both generations with a few simple moves. In fact, research shows that millennials and baby boomers are actually looking for the same rental perks. Let's take a look at what some of those amenities are. 1. Online rental payments. Look, over 75% of all renters are paying rent online. If the property managers you work with aren't on board with this yet, it's time to get there. Boomers are quick to adapt to online payments, and millennials basically expect it. Check out property management software like Yardi Breeze to make collecting online payments easy and to help you cut down on the time it takes to process those checks. 2. Co-working spaces. The U.S. Bureau of Labor reports that almost a quarter of the population is working from home. This mostly applies to millennials, but retired boomers will use these spaces too. A good co-working space should have Wi-Fi, plenty of outlets, desks, and some nice, natural light. Three, eco-friendly amenities. Going green is important to a lot of people these days, and there are so many ways to save money while you save energy. Low-flow shower heads use half as much water as standard ones without losing water pressure. Smart thermostats connect to Wi-Fi and automatically turn the heat down when no one is home. Want to save some trees and go paperless? Yardi Breeze bills tenants electronically. It's very modern and totally lit. 4. Hosted activities. If possible, set up spaces where people can just be social. If you have a pool area or barbecue space, send tenants an evite and bring them together for a hosted happy hour. If your properties have a referral incentive, talk that up at the party. Get loose with it. But not too loose. That's all for today on the Breezeway. So go find as many millennials and baby boomers as you can. Get them together in a communal space and watch some old episodes of Howdy Doody over a fresh plate of avocado toast. Thanks for watching. And now, back to brunch. Avocado toast is good. Sure do love that toast, though.
Think Realty Nation, that's a wrap. I learned a lot about raising capital from my good friend Adam Adams. You want to get in touch with him? Certainly do so. RaisingMoneySummit.com. Type in promo code ThinkRealty. Get 15% off. You know you want to go. You should go. Now, raising money, you got to do it all the time. And it doesn't start with just a deal. It starts now. You don't have to wait to find a deal to go raise money. So take some lessons that you learned today. Got questions? Get in touch with me. Go to thinkrealty.com. You can find me anywhere online at Abi Golhar as well. And I'll tell you something. This show, this podcast, today's podcast is brought to you by my good friends at Narada Real Estate Investments, your premier source for cash flow property anywhere in the United States. They're awesome. I love Marco. He's such a good friend of mine. Tell him Abi said hi. You can go visit Narada Real Estate Investments at www.turnkeyrealestateinvestments.com. Until next time, Think Realty Nation, happy investing.